Welcome back to Popcorn and Beers. We have got your butter on top of possibly played out Super Troopers 3? I guess we'll see. And of course, my drunk classic, The French Connection. Let's go! Welcome back to your Auntie Squirrel's favorite nephew's favorite movie podcast. That's right, this is Popcorn and Beers, where some use tomatoes and others use thumbs. We use the stuff that gets you drunk. Welcome in, Jordan. What a weekend of nothingness at the theater. Now,
Yeah.
People were talking about the one night only, and apparently it's like a take on post-apocalyptic America or where we're headed. And I will see it probably next weekend, depending on whether or not we decide to go to the zoo in Belgium. And that's a real thing that we might do. So I'm not just trying to say words, but but with that being considered, have you heard about the premise behind this one night only before we get into Super Troopers 3?
Yeah, it's a fairly interesting setup, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not a fan of the dumb face guy who's the star.
Okay, Callum?
Callum, yeah. You know?
So for me, I'm just like, okay, like the trailer doesn't really have anything that leads me to think this. So when I was seeing the trailer over and over and over again, I was like, what is this like? Like we're gonna trope Valentine's Day and treat Valentine's Day like it's like the one night a year where people hook up, because believe Valentine's Day for the single people, so let's just go hook up. And then it turns out this is like, hey, this is where America's going if we're not careful. Soon we're not gonna be able to even have sex with each other. And I'm just like, I mean, okay, all right. What a terrible world to live in for people, because I mean, God, everybody's gonna be really shitty at sex. Like really bad. Like everything's gonna be underwhelming in that universe. Every single thing. Why do I want to see a universe where they pretend like these people are good at sex when they've never had sex? Like I don't want to live in that universe. I don't even want to see the pretend universe that exists in.
Yeah, egos and all of that stuff would be at an all-time low, and probably violence would be up.
Yeah. I would agree to that. Aggression for sure. Yeah. For sure, and a very, very much a loss of clarity, because we all know about that post-clarity. So speaking of post-clarity, I have some post-Super Troopers 3 clarity, and I gotta say, it had its funny parts, and it had an opportunity to push the bar more than it actually did, and that was my disappointment. When it tried, it was pretty funny. When it pushed it into that non-PC, and it has a lot of racial humor in it, like a ton, because the storyline is he's marrying his friend or the other highway trooper's sister, right? Farva. And we all remember Farva from "Give me a liter of cola." What do you mean a liter of cola? I want a liter of cola. And then the jumping of the poor kid in the back because he puts the little sticky, right? Like we remember these schnozberries taste like schnozberries. And for some reason, Rabbit is still the rookie. Like they're playing a trope where he's not the rookie anymore. They've got a new rookie. But they just circle back to, oh, never mind. He's the rookie again. And I was like, do I like this? Am I digging this? Now they have the Deep in this from The Boys, okay, and he was pretty funny throughout the film. But overall, what am I thinking of this movie the whole time I'm sitting there? Is a few bite-sized laughs, a few times where they really go for it to try to get you to laugh. But does it work? I don't know. So sorry, the guy I was thinking of is Chase Crawford. He plays the Deep in The Boys. And Chandrasekhar. I can't say it. Anyway, his sister, Thorny, they call each other Thorny, by the way, the sister and Thorny, is in love with Farva. Why? Because he saved her from a burning car, and she falls in love instantly. And they keep throwing out different syndromes. They're like, it's Stockholm Syndrome. No, it's White Knight Syndrome. Because obviously she could never be in love with him. Yeah. And I think, honestly, I liked it better than the Netflix comedies we've been watching the last couple months. I did. I thought it was funnier than those. But I just wish they would go for it. Does that make sense? Just like
Yeah.
offend people. Screw it. If we're screw it. I'm dead serious. Like screw it. If this is what the movie is, go for it. Go all in. And I'm waiting for a film to push all the chips in again. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. And you have an opportunity here with the premise of a bunch of bumbling cops and stuff. I know, very like contentious kind of group, demographic.
And you have the history.
Yeah.
You have the history. You have the nostalgia factor. At the end of the movie, I will say this: you do leave pretty satisfied. Like you laughed or whatever. But when I was walking down, because I usually like just get up right at the end of the credits and just bounce. I will say I heard a guy go, "I just paid $8 to waste an afternoon watching that." that made me laugh. Overall, Super Troopers 3, while it maintains the heart of this franchise, it doesn't take it where it needs to go to continue to evolve this franchise. It stays exactly where it's comfortable, and I just don't think that's enough. It's almost like a regression, like you were too scared to take it there, and I have less respect for you. Now, the movie I was thinking of last week was Club Dread by the Broken Lizards Club. Do you remember the movie Club Dread? That's the movie I was trying to think of.
Yeah. One of their movies was a former drunk classic of mine, I believe, The Slammin' Salmon. Something I made you guys watch a while back.
You never made us watch that.
No way. Yes, I
Never.
had to have.
Nope.
Really?
That's
Oh
never
my
been a
God.
drunk. You just gave away one of your drunk classics.
I mean, it's there. It'll be there soon, though.
No, you never had us watch the Slam and Salmon.
Interesting.
I think Waiting was one of yours. I think
Maybe.
yeah, I think Waiting, Dude, Where's My Car, but never a Broken Lizards Club. You've also reviewed their not Nosferatu, The Hunchback, Quasimodo. You reviewed their film Quasimodo.
Oh, yeah. That was
Yeah, you
funny.
didn't like it either. So I don't think
That's
they've
funny.
quite lost their fastball. I don't with Super Troopers, okay? I really don't feel that way as it pertains. Like the plot was fine, the storyline was fine. It's just a matter of they were afraid to throw it. They were afraid to throw it. So this is gonna get now they have the nostalgia factor. There's a couple. I'm not gonna sit here and say it didn't make me laugh, because it did. It made me laugh, especially more than 72 hours. But I wanted more. If you're gonna lean into the racial humor because he's marrying into the Indian family, let's go. Like bring it. And it wasn't there. Like they hit it and back off and hit it and back off and hit it and back off. And it was silly. Like one of the funnier scenes where they push it is he forces his dad to eat beef. He forces Thorny's dad to eat beef. And that was pretty funny. And I'm going to give a spoiler alert. Farva is allergic to lobster. And he decides on the night before his wedding, he's going to eat lobster. So he arms all of his groomsmen with EpiPens to save his life. And then he turns into the Hulk after eating the lobster and like trying not to go into anaphylactic shock. So it had its moments. It had its moments. Probably just like our next up film. So I'm going to give this a popcorn, like I said. But our next up film is The French Connection, which is widely regarded as one of the better films ever. Jordan, what did you think of The French Connection?
It's old. It's old.
It's old.
And I didn't quite understand what was kind of going on here. I feel like the plot isn't built very strong. You're just like cops chasing foreigners. I don't know. It's a little like it's very surface. It's just like good guy, bad guy, and he's trying to get him.
Yeah,
it's a little
get him.
Yeah, it's a little Pink Panther.
Okay.
Ish for sure, especially the scene with Popeye Doyle played by Hackman, right? Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman, and we get a sighting from Jaws too, right?
Yeah. He's when he's chasing him around New York, following him through the subway, and they're doing the in and out of the train whole thing. That was hilarious. That was like a old Scooby Doo Looney Tunes
Screwing with
cartoon.
him a little bit.
Yeah. We mentioned in pre-production the practical effects of gunshot wounds and all that. It's just like a quick. You could tell there's an edit. There's like a cut in there, and then a splat of just red, really gooey, thick red paint.
It's very clearly red paint. It's like it could not have been more obvious that they went down to Ace Hardware, grabbed a tin of red paint, and just through it. Like
Yeah.
that was the effect.
Yep. Yeah. So in the very beginning, you actually get one of these moments with the paint, and which doesn't. I don't believe it ever gets any explanation. Like, why is that guy killed? Why is
So he was so it was the French police, and he was tailing the drug deal, right? And we find that out
okay?
later that that's the hitman. That's their hitman, and he's
Uh,
supposedly a good one. But then we see the scene where he's the hitman, and we're like, I don't think he's that good at being a hitman.
yeah. So he shoots a guy, right? He shoots the cop or whoever he's supposed to be. Blood splatter in the face, and
Yeah.
then the guy's laying on the ground. He's holding a baguette, right? And then the assassin grabs the baguette, takes a piece. There's no blood on the cop's face anymore. It's just no paint, nothing. It's gone.
How about no blood on the baguette after just getting shot in the head?
Yeah. Yeah. She's just gonna eat it, you know.
Yeah.
This is problematic movie. It's old. It's from the 70s, right?
Yeah.
Right. So
We're in the 70s
there's
era.
some racial stuff, some inappropriate,
Quite a
sort of
bit.
chauvinistic, whatever. All of that, you know, it's of its time.
I put, how about that open? I don't know if this flies in 2026. There's
Oh
going to
yeah.
be some backlash.
Oh yeah, for sure. Pick what is this? What is this thing? It's like a running thing throughout the movie. Picking his feet. What's his deal with picking feet? Do you pick your feet in
Poughkeepsie.
Poughkeepsie? Yeah. What does that mean?
I
Can you
don't
explain
know.
that to me?
I don't know. You continue, and I'll look it up. I'll look it up.
Okay. Yeah, he has this whole long dialogue where he's talking to some guy he's been chasing. They were chasing some guy down the street trying to get information out of him. And he starts this rant. Have you ever been you were sitting on a bus or something and you were picking your feet out in Poughkeepsie? Say you did it. Say you did it. And he's demanding this guy admits to it. And he finally goes, yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to lock you up for this and cite you for just because you did it or something. And then throughout the movie, he keeps asking people, have you ever picked your feet in Poughkeepsie?
So he says it's psychological warfare, and it was a real phrase used by Detective Eddie Egan, a gritty NYPD cop on whom Popeye Doyle is based.
Okay. All right,
Like,
sure.
that feels like, was that like a 70s thing? Like, it feels very inside once I read that. It feels like a very inside reference.
Yeah. I whatever. I mean, I kind of laughed every time he said it. I was like, all right, it's gross. You know, I
It's
would arrest
weird.
somebody for picking their feet in public as well, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So a lot of the car chasing, that was awesome. That was very well done. Where he's chasing the train and the whole shootout. The ending was weird though. Why did it kind of end on it's very sudden. You hear a
Yeah, and then
gunshot.
it does everything. So there's a French Connection part 2.
Yeah.
So the French Connection part 2 that I don't know, but it explains everything. So how can you have a French Connection 2, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He's never seen from again. Blah 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 blah. You know.
How about he just kills the other cop?
Yeah.
Murders the other police officer.
Screw it. Yeah. Just keep.
Like,
Wow,
there
he's-
was- he just offs the other cop, and like Roy Scheider's character is kind of like, you killed the other guy, and he's like, I know he's in here somewhere. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Shouldn't have been standing there. So I'm gonna give the French Connection. I could see how this is like in the kind of it's highly regarded, right? In the movie annals, Hall of Fame, whatever you want to call it. Like people love this movie from that time.
Yeah.
You know, it's evil. A lot of people have heard of this before. So I'm gonna give it a popcorn in 1.
Popcorn in 1, I think, is a good rating for this. I mean, there is some problematic stuff. Like, we don't know how old the girl was that he just randomly hooks up with. What's funny is I haven't seen this movie probably since I was a kid. Like, so I didn't remember, and I was like, does he hit that person? Is that what we're setting up right now? Is he going to hit the girl on the bicycle? Nope. He's going to sleep with the girl on the bicycle. And it's so odd. And it's like, they're trying to frame him like he's this, like, rugged BA cop that, like, you know, what is he? Takes bad guys to jail and takes bad women to bed. But it's hard to see Gene Hackman as that person, even though he's great in the role. Like, he is fantastic as Popeye Doyle. I love his captain. He's a good cop. He's got good hunches, basically, every once in a while. It's just like, no, he's not a good cop. And the hunch, right? We have the hunch. I've got a hunch. I've got a hunch. I've got a hunch. Like, through the whole movie, it's always about Popeye Doyle's hunches. He's always got a hunch about like where something's coming from or what's going to happen. And his hunches don't pay off until the very end. And again, very problematic. He literally shoots somebody in the back. He shoots not just what we were just talking about with the police officer, with the fellow police officer. He shoots the hitman in the back after the hitman is giving himself up. He just shoots him in the back.
Was he giving? Well, I guess he was running away. Yeah,
I guess he was going to try to run away. But
clearly,
but still,
I think that was warranted, though. I don't know. He's the guy.
I guess he had already murdered somebody, right? He murdered that lady pushing her kid in the stroller.
Yeah, random people. He shot the conductor, or he shot the guy on the train. A couple people on the train. You know, it's like, yeah, he had to go.
Oh gosh, the security guard on the train, more red paint, just thrusting of red paint everywhere. Yeah. I agree with you. A popcorn in one, it would never fly in today's world. Ever. I don't think. It's too much.
Sure.
It's fun to go back and watch the old slang now. If you want to see some old slang, like it is, other than the picking his feet in Poughkeepsie, I don't get that at all.
Yeah.
Now, let's get to what we were watching, Jordan. And I watched quite a bit this week, so I'm going to lead off with quite a few. But let's start with The Invite. Have you seen anything about this movie yet?
It's Rose Byrne?
No. This is Olivia Wilde.
Olivia Wilde,
right?
Okay.
Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
Not Seth Rogen.
Everything I've know about this movie is against my will. So.
Everything you've learned about this movie is against your will. Why?
Because just Olivia Wilde interviews about it, like, Olivia Wilde says that she is now more romantic after having acted in this movie. Like, shut up.
Yeah, she's doing a lot of that. Like, and she's taken that stance on quite a few things. We had the Jason Sudeikis stuff revisited right as Ted Lasso season 4 is launching. But let me tell you this: Penelope Cruz, Olivia Wilde have just amazing chemistry together. Edward Norton is fantastic in this. This movie is another popcorn and 3 for me. All right.
Wow.
This was beautifully awkward, just fantastically awkward. They open up with, tell me you haven't had this fight in your relationship before. The old, you didn't tell me you were doing this. I did tell you. No, you didn't. Yes, I did tell you. Every relationship has had that argument. I defy you to be in a relationship longer than 6 months and not have that argument, especially if you're living together. That argument happens, okay? And how about this one? I know this is me, and I was like, I hope Anna never watches this because I'm definitely guilty of this stuff. But did you buy this rug just to impress the new neighbors? You're so predictable. That's what she says back to him. Instead of answering the question, like, just, you're so predictable. Seth is so contentious in his role, and Olivia is so eager to impress and make new friends. And I think that that's another dynamic we see as couples get older, as you get longer in the years of your relationships. You see those dynamics start to take place. And then we get introduced to Ed Norton and Penelope Cruz, who are impossibly chill and accepting. I think everybody knows what's going on. Just from the title of this movie, just from the poster, we should all be aware that this movie is about being sex positive. All right? So there's one quote here, and he goes, Ed Norton goes, I brought condoms. And Seth goes, condoms? Wow, it's like it's pre 9/11. And that made me laugh pretty hard because I do have single friends, and I have heard rumors and hearsay as to what the world is like now. And that just made me laugh pretty hysterically. Olivia's wonderfully neurotic performance creates the perfect awkward feeling that lingers for the audience to either sink into or run from. And this is paired with Penelope's willingness to sink into the tension and create an amazing experience for the audience if you're willing to watch the juxtapositions. Ed Norton has a nonchalant delivery while making such a complex character come to life effortlessly, engaging with Seth's irritated demeanor. The score moves along the plot at a pace that allows the audience to really become a part of the conversation. It's a movie about, like I said, sex positivity, and the way they frame it is fantastic, and it leads to real questions. I don't think that this is a film that you should watch with your significant other unless you're very comfortable having conversations.
Wow.
Because it
All
will
right.
spur quite a few conversations. There's a when both couples decide that they're going to accept this. How about this? Hey, nice, good old 4G gets thrown out there in the middle of it. And there's also a scene where they're talking about like where there's enough room to do the things that they would like to do with each other. And Seth Rogen says his daughter's room, and Olivia Wilde goes, "Ew, no, gross, gross." So there is a lot to like here, and if you are good with awkward and you really kind of want to be in that mood, just be in an awkward, skin crawling but not in a bad way type mood, this is the movie for you. So the invite for me, going to be a popcorn in 3. You're not going to watch it, Jordan?
Nah, probably not this one. I'll probably pass on this one. It's the way it sounds.
I did think it was great. I do think there's going to be some awards handed out, and there is a twist.
Wow.
There is a twist, and you kind of get to see like, oh wow, all couples do these things, no matter how chill they are. All right, so one you won't watch too, maybe one you might watch because it's free on Netflix. How about The Last House, taking place in a pre-post-apocalyptic and then enters into a present-day apocalyptic world? When we're talking about this, it is a film that gives the audience an opportunity to decide what is going on, as the rain creates a sealant around your home, and the rain will not allow you to leave. The water locks your doors. The water stops holes from being formed. The water does not allow you to break out of your house. So you are effectively trapped within your home. In the opening, I didn't expect this film to be what it was. And it starts with everybody remembers the day the rain came, and then it ends with everybody remembers the day the rain stopped. It's really a story of helplessness because you cannot help your neighbors. And can you just stand by and watch everything occur? How do you expect to help your family in a world where you cannot exit the home and get food even? Okay? It's very interesting in that way. Now, the attack of the super sealant rain is what I called it. But you're telling me a month goes by and no one's worried about this jogger that appears in the first couple minutes of the movie. Like the jogger's trapped outside, can't get inside the house, and it's just like a day goes by, a week goes by, they're dancing, they're watching Annie, they're trying to make the best of being locked inside, figure out how we're gonna eat. And I'm just sitting here like, is no one curious about what happened to the girl that was supposed to help save everyone? Like no one's curious about like, hey, what happened to that jogger that was outside? She never came back. How long's it been? A month. so that was.
This has huge like COVID coded vibes, like being locked in the house together and going crazy, and I don't know.
Yeah,
It feels,
and you definitely have some moments where you're kind of like, okay, like I don't know if that's a thing. And the go ahead.
Everybody started trying to make sourdough bread and stuff.
Learn piano, learn a language, get bored, like do laps around your living room table, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. They do that in this movie. They try to create
Tiger King.
Yeah, watch Tiger King. Watch what was it? The Jordan documentary.
Yeah.
Now it's got a Bird Box type feel to it, right? When you finally get to see who the antagonists are in the story, and I've got to mark it down. So I've got to give it. I thought it was actually pretty good for what it was, and it's who is it? It's got Wagner Moura is the lead actor in this, and the kids do pretty well. Like only the boy gets annoying for a bit. Okay, so the kids do pretty well, and oftentimes children can take you out of a movie like this, right? They can make you be like, I don't like this. What's going on here? Like, this is silly. But there is an old Yeller style dog death, and there's like, PETA's going to hate this movie. PETA's will absolutely, because there is a lot of like catching your own food, and it's pretty visceral. Like, you see it happen. you see how they're catching all this food and how he's trapping the meat, and you hear the animal sounds as they're getting like injured from the traps and stuff. And I'm just kind of like, oof, that's the choice that you're making, huh? We got it. Like I can infer what's happening. Overall, it wasn't bad though. Popcorn and one for this. I thought it was an interesting take. I mean, I think that there is a segment of the audience that will be underwhelmed by it, but I thought it was a creative choice. I thought it was something a little bit different. You know, the dialogue at the end definitely falls off, but we're going to give it a popcorn and one, even with the dog death. And then, Jordan, I watched one that you highly recommended. I watched How to Make a Killing.
Yeah.
With Glenn Powell. And you said it was great, Jordan, and you weren't wrong. This is a popcorn and two movie. This is a really good movie. It's very interesting. You're really along for the ride. Margaret Qualley is phenomenal in this, as you just hate her. You hate her.
Yeah.
Literally. In the privacy of my living rooms, I said some things.
Yeah, she just makes you seethe with anger the whole movie.
Oh my goodness. There's so much. And you know what? You know what? She deserves everything because she put in work. Like, she put in just as much work. She is amazing at manipulation in her role. And it's almost like she's been doing it since she was a little girl. How about she says, I wouldn't mind it if you try it again sometime. You should try it again sometime. Go ahead. Try asking me out. Are you saying I should ask you out? Try it. Do you want to go out with me? No.
Terrible. Ugh. PTSD.
Thank you, Beckett. I learn something new every time we run into each other like this.
Oh my god.
The new love interest. I guess it's just scary to dream small. No one ever teaches you to do that. I thought that was a really beautiful quote, like, because she's referring to, instead of being like this world-renowned artist, she just wants to be a teacher. And she has that quote in this, especially because of where this movie's taking place and the elitist culture that it's taking place around. I love the comment about, sir, I wouldn't know what I'm doing. Nobody does. It's called nepotism. That is such a phenomenal, like, hey, this is what we're doing here, by the way. Ed Harris is phenomenal in his role. How about this one? I've always felt I know a certain truth. Like, the only thing that really hurts us in life is the voice of our own conscience. Whew. I mean,
snap.
Yeah. It sucks, but man, I mean, we've got some people at the top of a lot of places. FIFA, the country, other countries, and really, the only thing that hasn't stopped them is their conscience. They have no conscience. They have no shame. And I heard that quote and I was like, that was good. That was a really good quote. That's how the rich stay rich. They don't give a But here we are. And I mean, do the billionaires get their comeuppance? I don't know. You're going to have to watch this movie and it's well worth it. It is a popcorn and two. And anyone that ever told you money can't buy you happiness, according to Glenn Powell's character, is a liar. Go out and see How to Make a Killing. Jordan, what were you watching?
I watched a Netflix documentary called Breakdown 1975. And it is about, I'm not going to say the golden era of movies, but the golden year of movies, right? Where studios, going up, I guess leading up to this, were just heavily in control of creative development, what gets released. People stayed very safe within these parameters of things to put out and all that. And then all of a sudden, there was just this kind of, with everything going on politically in the world, it's a major like social psychological look at what was going on with the government and war and geopolitical, all this stuff going on during in the middle of the 70s, right? That spawned this golden era of movies where people wanted to see the dark side of being American, kind of thing, right? They wanted to see the ugly truth, the stuff that's going on beneath the surface. And so we got these movies, these Jaws, these Taxi Drivers, One Flew Under the Cuckoo's Nest, Rocky, Bad News Bears, Dog Day Afternoon. You get a lot of blaxploitation films like Shaft and Superfly, and just these crazy like movies that just in this time leading up to this just would have never been made, studios were really just like letting it fly, just like whatever creative vision people had, like it was getting green lit.
IP didn't matter, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's narrated by Jodie Foster, and
Hmm.
we got a little drink link. We got heavy commentary from Seth Rogen, Patton Oswalt. You get a lot of like in moments when they're talking about specific films. You know, you get uh, Jack Nicholson, Steven Spielberg, Bill Gates, a ton of people, just like everybody. You know, Martin Scorsese does a lot of commentary in this. A few drunk classics, right? I mentioned some, but we do get the mention of a few of our former drunk classics from this show,
Nice,
right?
nice,
Taxi
nice.
Driver,
We're doing
whatnot.
it right then.
Yeah, yeah. So it was interesting, you know, as us movie lovers. It was an interesting look at this, and then how it all quickly, as quickly as it sort of sprang on us, this moment in time with films, it reverted back to its old self, right? A few things happen here and there, and they're like, we're gonna stop doing that. We're getting too subversive here. We're getting too far away. This is not good. And studios retighten their grip, and we kind of lost that.
Government
So
involvement.
yeah. So this was a good documentary. I'm gonna give it a popcorn and two.
Popcorn and two. That sounds like something I might like. I might check that out here. Throw
Yeah.
it on in the background and let it play. Listen to some things going on. One movie you do not have to throw on in the background. You don't even have to watch is Tom Hanks's film Here.
Haha.
Okay, this movie is definitely doing what it can to be Oscar bait, and all it is just awful. As Tom Hanks, Robin Wright, Paul Bettany, Leslie Zemeckis. They come in and they try to put on a show, and all they do is depress the audience in a house that saw its owners be Benjamin Franklin's young son, that saw its owners be the creator of the Lazy Boy, that saw its owners be one of the first pilots in the United States of America, and then this average Joe's family, with Paul Bettany being the patriarch, returning from war. And it starts the depression real quick. He's got an alcohol problem because of what he saw. And he's mean and rude and doesn't realize how terrible he's been until everything's gone. This movie has dementia and Alzheimer's sprinkled in, just to depress the audience, to bring you down. And it's all taking place here. No, stop. What? It's like I said, it's set up like a play style. So it's like, okay, change the set. Here we are now. Now it's this. Now it's that. And you're trying to do so much. And then we've got so much CGI on Tom Hanks' face to make him look like he's 20 years old. And it's so bad. And this one slipped through the cracks for me. And all I wrote was like, I didn't want to be sad. I didn't want to be this sad. This movie's depressing. It's a day ruiner. And it has very little redeeming qualities. And it tries to bring it back. This is from 2024, so it's pretty old now. So spoiler alert. One of the characters that has Alzheimer's or dementia, whatever they're trying to go with, she only regains her memory by sitting in the room. And I'm just like, the movie's over and you've ruined it. You can't bring it back with this. It's really bad. It was a heavy miss for Oscar bait. It is a popcorn, if there's ever been one. The CGI was just god terrible. They pour so much into this to create a nothing burger. They used all the ingredients in the kitchen and no food came out. Here, starring
Mhm.
Tom Hanks, is absolutely a terrible movie, and no
Yeah.
one should suffer through it.
They should rename it Anywhere But Here, because that's where you wish you'll be when you watch this movie.
100%. 100%. It's if you want to suffer, it's available on Hulu.
If you want to suffer.
All right, how about Cabin in the Woods? So I went ahead and watched Cabin in the Woods, starring our friend Chris Hemsworth and a bunch of other people that you've definitely seen before. The father from Step Brothers, Jack Peralta's dad, who also stars in The Handmaid's Tale. It's got a bunch of people you've seen from Grey's Anatomy. There's so many people in this movie that go on to become something. And you know what? It is a popcorn and one for me as far as horror movies go, because I really like the concept. And really what it's doing is it's creating the world where all these horror movie tropes exist simply to please the gods that came before, that have the power to destroy what we've created here on Earth. And that's why we need the hot girl that has to die, the smart nerd that has to die, the virgin that has to die, the athlete that has to die. It's to satiate the appetite of the gods that came before. And I love, and that is what they're doing. They're basically just saying, this is why all these horror movie tropes exist. Here it is. This is why they trip. Here's the zombies. And they have all, when they finally break into the world that is controlling the environment, they see all these different creatures of horror. And I have one question for you, Jordan. How come the creatures of horror don't attack each other? How come they don't attack each other? They only attack the people.
Bro code.
It's just, I was like, you're telling me that werewolf doesn't want to get a piece of that cobra?
Nope. Nope.
It's does it ever remind you of like when you're playing video games and you're like, why are they only coming at me? There are so many other choices for them attack and they're only chasing me down. Makes no sense.
Yeah.
So that was Cabin in the Woods, but popcorn and what? Did you like Cabin in the Woods 2012?
I liked it a lot, but I always felt like the end left so much to be desired with like the whole surprise. Like she's locked in that box of things. Like I always wanted a part 2. Mm-hmm. Like I want to know. I want more. I want the lore. I want it. Just
the gods destroy the whole Earth at the end of part 1.
That is that's right. Yeah, it's yeah.
So finally, I've got a couple more here for the audience, but the Marvels. All right, we're getting closer and closer to the end of my Odyssey to finish all of the Marvel movies leading up to Doomsday. The Marvels is one of those movies that they got too cute with their CGI, just got a little too campy with characters that we don't want to be necessarily that campy, and it was too much too soon, and it didn't work. It was one of those movies where it just didn't work with Kamala Khan and Carol Danvers and Monica Rambeau. You want these characters to succeed. You want to see their story progress, but when you do it in such a sloppy, ineffective way, it's just too hard. You can even put Samuel L. Jackson in that Nick Fury role. Pardon me, and he's just not going to save it. So the Marvels is I rewatch it. It's a popcorn for me. It just wasn't good. I wanted it to be. I wanted to be wrong, like a couple of the other Marvel films that I've rewatched and reviewed again, and it just wasn't. It just didn't do it for me. So we'll see if they could resurrect some life into these characters in Doomsday, and I really hope they can, because it was quite depressing on the rewatch.
Yeah, there's that era of Marvel movies not that long ago where just everybody was hating on everything that was coming out of Marvel. You know, It was getting panned heavily, and I didn't agree with all of that, but that's one that I definitely was like, that was weak. You know, it was unfortunate.
Yeah, and the Singing Planet they went for it, it just didn't work, and somebody should have told them that in production. Like it just doesn't work. I don't like it. It sucks. You know, it's just not good. So, Jordan, what was next for you?
I watched another documentary on Netflix, Jim Thorpe, Lit by Lightning. Now, if you don't know who Jim Thorpe is, perhaps the greatest athlete, American athlete, maybe athlete, just period.
Native American?
To have ever lived, a Native American man. So this it's a historical documentary, it's a sports documentary, it's so many things in one. It's just it's one episode, like an hour and a half or so. And boy, do they cram in a lot. It is go, right? It's commentated by Jim Thorpe himself. I believe it's somebody just reading his journals or whatever. You get some Jamel Hill, and other various former Olympians and different experts on Jim Thorpe's life. Essentially, Jim Thorpe, right, grows up on a reservation and ends up going to this renowned boarding school for Native American people. And of course, those have a huge negative, they're notorious, have a historical significance on Native American communities. He goes to the school, starts to play football, and they go into all of that, like the early days of football, what that looked like. It was nothing like the football that we know today, right? It was very
Closer to rugby.
It was chaos. It was sloppy. It was brutal. People died like a lot, like very, very often. People were dying playing football, and it was actually almost banned, right, from being played in our country. That would have been the end of football. So yeah, you get that whole backstory. He is very successful at it. He transitions to playing to track and field, where he just excels like immediately at everything, vaulting him into the Olympics, the Stockholm Olympics, where
pentathlete,
pentathlon and the decathlon as well.
Decathlon.
Yeah, he dominates both of them and dominates them. He's winning first place in over half the events of these different competitions, right?
Okay.
Just untouchable. He's winning events. So one of his major American rivals, right, going out there. Other countries don't seem to have. They're fascinated by him. He is the first sports celebrity to have like ever existed, right? People all over the world know him. They've heard of him. And other athletes from other countries, they're like, great, he's novel, all of that. They don't really have a problem with him. But it's his fellow American athletes that really dislike him. Specifically, a guy named Avery Brundage.
Good old American racism.
Yeah, Avery Brundage, fellow track and field guy, gets the nickname event later on Slavery Avery for his support of like Jim Crow and all of that stuff. Yeah. It's rumored that Avery Brundage steals his shoes, and so Jim Thorpe goes and finds a pair of shoes that are too small for him. I believe they're two different shoes in the garbage can. Puts them on. One's too big, so he has to like wear double socks. The other one's too small, so it's like hanging half of his foot off. He goes on to win Olympic events, first place with two random shoes from a garbage can. So it just goes to show you this guy's resolve.
Phenomenal.
Avery Brundage, they get into all that backstory, goes on to become the Olympic commissioner, who leads the charge in stripping Jim Thorpe of his medals, due to this whole amateurism. Jim Thorpe was supposedly paid a few dollars to play in some exhibition baseball games or something, which back then was a huge no-no against the rules. And yeah, okay, that's the rules, and Jim Thorpe admits to it, and they strip his medals and whatever. But over time, when they begin to soften these rules and reinstate medals and all of that, the one person that they will not make amends to is Jim Thorpe, and that is because Avery Brundage says, as long as I'm alive, we will not change this. And as soon as Avery Brundage dies, the new guy steps in, they change it. They of course. They first make him a co-winner with the Swedish runner-up Hugo Wieslander, who all along this time says Jim Thorpe was the winner. I don't want these medals. I don't deserve them. Jim Thorpe dominated. He's the guy, right? So go Swedes and all that. And then eventually, it wasn't until a couple of years ago, Joe Biden actually made a full reinstatement. And the Olympic Committee got together. They made Jim Thorpe the sole gold medal winner and gave him a Medal of Freedom, all of that. So this covers a lot. I'm really like,
he earned that. He was held down.
Right. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. So this covers a lot. That's about only the half of it. I highly, highly recommend this documentary. It's a popcorn and 3.
Popcorn and 3. So, 2 documentaries in a row I'm going to have to check out, Jordan. I watched Almost Famous, which I'm sorry, classic killer. It's my fault. I did it. I'm starting my letterbox now for all the fans, and I'll start doing my written reviews and everything like that. I'm trying to encourage Jordan, but Jordan's like, that sounds like a day ruiner because you got to mark all the movies you've seen. You don't have to, but I don't know. Makes it kind of fun. So Almost Famous came across. I was like, you know what? I've never seen this, but everyone talks about it. And it's a story of a young American high school student who is 15, who is very intelligent, skipped 2 grades. His mother, played by Frances McDermott, is a college professor who is very repressed, is what we'll say. She's a very repressed person who believes that a lot of things are evils in the world. And because these are evils in the world, you should not give in to them. And then her daughter, played by Zoe Deschanel, runs away to become a flight attendant. She's driven off by these repressions, and music has set her free. And she really wants to go off and be something else, not be at home. Now, because of this, she softens on her son, and she lets him go off with a band who he has used flattery to get in tight with. He also gets in tight with this band because of Penny Lane, introducing us all to Kate Hudson. And he's encouraged along the way by the late, great Philip Seymour Hoffman, who is his mentor, who he fought to see, who he wrote letters to, who he sent copies of his own high school articles to. And with this story, it's kind of like every high school kid's dream to get swept up by a band and be taken on the road with them on their adventures. And it crescendos in a scene where the airplane is going down, it's going to crash, and the whole band is confessing things to each other. And Jason Lee, the lead singer, has slept with Billy Cundrip, Russell's character's wife, and he's confessing it. And now, instead of loving each other, they all hate each other. And finally, our reporter, Will, loses his mind. He's a 15-year-old kid with all this stuff going on, everything that's happened to him on the road. Watch the movie if you want to see what happens to this kid on the road. And he just pours his heart out to this band. And it ends with him writing a story for Rolling Stone about this band, Stillwater. And the band shuts it down. Or does it? So, Popcorn and 2 for Almost Famous. Finally, Jordan, I watched Hoppers, an animated film about saving wildlife. This movie is PETA friendly, unlike The Last House, which is not PETA friendly. Almost Up-esque with the grandmother. In the start of Hoppers, you really get like a feel for it's very close to Up, and it makes you sad right away. It gets you, and you feel for this young lady who just wants the best for the world and loves nature and loves animals. Pond Rules is a very funny part of this movie where, hey, you can't eat him, spit him out. And the bear spits him out and goes, why? And it all descends into chaos once the pond rules have been violated and we have the Council of Kings. I think Hoppers is cute. It's fun. It's a good movie for everyone. There's enough adult jokes in it. There's enough kid jokes in it. And really, it's a different style of Fern Gully for our world. So go out, check out Hoppers. It's available on Disney Plus. I'm going to go ahead and give Hoppers a popcorn and 1. Jordan?
Yeah. The last thing I watched here was Paddington. Paddington, the sort of beloved British family comedy movie about the bear that wears a red hat and clothes and all that. I always heard of like it was a book,
raincoat.
Right? Yeah, I've heard of the book
it's a
when
whole
I was
series.
a kid. Yeah, I didn't really like know much about it, so I didn't really understand the phenomenon with it. But like people really loved this story and this character and all that. So it took me a long time. This came out a long time ago. Let me see. Sorry, how long ago did the first Paddington come
Probably
out?
a bit ago. I would say over 10
2014.
years.
2014.
Yeah.
So I decided last night was the night. We had family movie night. We actually set up the projector in the backyard and watched the movie, and it was as advertised, precious. It was adorable. It was Nicole Kidman is the bad. She's like kind of the biggest star. I mean, you could say Sally Hawkins, who won an Oscar.
Is it?
I don't. He's
Ewan
not
McGregor?
billed. I thought so,
Okay.
but he's not billed on IMDb.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So Nicole Kidman is the bad guy, villain in this movie. She's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's very dark. Her like motivations and everything behind this.
Like Cruella de Vil
It's
style.
pretty dark.
I've never seen this. By the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Her desire is like to She wants to be like famous and have this glory that was stripped from her dad. So instead of just like capturing, she doesn't want to just capture the talking humanoid bear. She wants to
Hmm.
murder him and taxidermy him. Like, okay.
So
So
very
yeah,
Cruella de
pretty.
Vil-esque.
Yeah. She, but she's funny. Just like the interaction, the way she just moves in this movie is it's pretty crazy. She's a pretty out there villain.
Yeah,
But
I
like I
think she was
mentioned,
also
Sally
a villain in the
Hawkins.
Golden Compass around the same time.
Oh, so she was in an era here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
her villains
Sally
era.
Hawkins from The Shape of Water
Hmm.
plays the sort of matriarch in this movie, and she's great. She's very a very likable character, very heartfelt. And then the dad, right? The curmudgeony dad, Hugh Bonneville. I've never heard of this guy, but he's so annoying. He's so rude, and then you grow to love him so much, right?
Don't you
One of
always like? Isn't like Grumpy
Yeah,
like one of the most beloved Seven Dwarves? Right? Like it's
yeah.
always that one that people just fall for.
It's British Grumpy too. So it's like it's so funny. It's still so polite is the thing. It's still so
Yeah, yeah.
polite, even though he's like being so rude, you know? Um,
Okay.
one of the little one of the little brothers from Little Drinkling, I don't know the guy's name, but it's one of the little brothers from The Impossible that we just
Uh-huh.
watched last week, 2 weeks ago.
Hmm.
My drunk classic. He's plays the young boy in this movie. There's two kids, a brother and a sister, and they're not bad. They're not bad. They don't force them on you too much. You know, it's really about the bear and the mom and the dad and all of that. Um, Marmalade sandwich, right? Marmalade. That's Paddington's big thing. Is he likes marmalade, which if you're American and we're not really big on marmalade. It is like an orange jelly jam
Jam.
spread. Yeah, it's like an orange spread. It doesn't sound great, honestly, but this movie's
I will
funny.
say
It
this:
has
in living in
moments.
England, they do love orange flavored things.
Yeah, see, I'm not. I'm always giving away. I leave the orange flavored Starburst, whatever, in the bag and try to give
Yeah,
away or whatever. You know, it's like,
the cream egg.
nah. Yeah, yeah. So I'm definitely interested in watching Paddington 2. I don't know if I'll go as far as Paddington in Peru. Like, come on, spare me.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll watch Paddington 2. But Paddington itself, I give a popcorn and 3.
Popcorn and 3 for Paddington. It is on the list. It is on the list. I'll have to check it out. On the list for us, we don't have a choice this week. It's the end of Oak Street for our butter on top. J.J. Abrams. It's time for us to figure out whether or not he has jumped the shark. I think this is the film that will tell us because he got a lot of big swings after Lost, and he did some good stuff and some bad stuff. The Cloverfield series kind of fell off a cliff, but we'll see what he's able to do with the end of Oak Street, and it is on to you for this week's Drunk Classic, Jordan.
All right. We haven't had a scary movie, I feel like, in a while. I know we
Okay.
kind of
Well, it's
try to
not
like to
October.
reserve that. I know we like to reserve that for spooky season, but people love scary movies in the summertime as well,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick something kind of odd that has a sequel that's coming out, I believe. It is called It Follows.
Okay. It
It,
follows. I've seen
yeah,
this, I think.
starring Micah Monroe. She was recently in that movie, Letter or Reminders of Him. That was not
Okay.
very good. Yeah, yeah. There's some recognizable faces in this. It's interesting, especially with that movie that we talked about at the top of the show coming out about only being able to hook up
One night.
one time all year.
Yeah.
That's the premise.
Or yeah,
Well,
one
be
night only.
careful. If you hook up on that one night, you don't hook up with somebody who's possessed by the sex demon. That is something like an STD. We'll say. You'll see.
Jesus.
It's an interesting
A
original
killer
premise.
STD. As we find out that It Follows was a
Yeah, yeah,
take
yeah.
on AIDS. Anyway. Anyway, we love it. We love seeing you guys each and every week, and we hope to see you at the theaters for the end of Oak Street. Remember, you get the popcorn, we got the beer.